Hello everyone, welcome to the new video. In this video we will implement that how we can pass data from one screen to the previous screen. So for that purpose we will use this post listing screen. Here we are seeing the list of all the posts. When user will tap on any post item, then the post detail screen will be shown to the user, and in here we have these two buttons, update and delete. When user will tap on update, then for simplicity we are only updating the title of this post and navigate the user back to the previous screen. So if we tap on the update button, then here we are seeing this successfully update post message, and in the listing we are also seeing that this title have been updated. So if we do the same thing for this second post, tap on update, then this post have been updated. And if we select this first post and tap on delete, then that post have been deleted, and also list have been refreshed on this listing screen. So we will achieve this through two approaches. The approach one would be through SavedStateHandle, which is good for small apps, and the approach two will be using SharedRepository, which is recommended for medium or large scale apps. So we will go through both of these approaches one by one, and this is what we will accomplish in this video. So let's proceed. You can find the initial code for this video from the description below, and let's go through the initial code. So in the initial code we have this post detail screen, and in that we have added these two buttons. So this is the code of these two buttons, and whenever user perform any action from the UI, then we need to send that action to the ViewModel. So for that we have create a seal class named as post detail action, which contains all these three actions which are expected from the UI. So in the post detail ViewModel we have created a public method named as onAction, and against each action we are calling as a specific method, and when performing the logic in the ViewModel, we need to send some event to the UI side to perform some action, let's say showing a toast or perform the navigation to the next screen or the previous screen. So for that purpose we have created another seal class named as post detail event, which contains two events, navigate back and show toast, and this will be in this shared flow in the ViewModel, and on the UI side in the post detail screen we will be listening those events, and against that event we will call the respective method. So this is the walkthrough of the initial code which is required for this video. So now we will proceed with the approach one, that you pass the data to the previous screen using SavedStateHandle. So here what we will do is, in the post detail ViewModel we have the instance of SavedStateHandle. So when this update post method will be called, first of all we will update the post. So updated post is equal to post dot value, and here we will use the scope function. Title append updated in the start and title, and now we will call the repository.update method. Okay, so currently the repository do not contain the update method, so we will go to the repository, and in here create a method update post model, and we have our list in the this is an interface, and also create another method name for delete the post. Okay, and in here we will provide the implementation. Press Alt Enter and implement members. So our list is in the in-memory list. So we first find the index of this updated post, Okay, and if it is not -1, then we will update the post. So currently here, this is the immutable version of this list, so we will change it to the mutable list. Okay, now we can update this list, and same thing we will do for this delete method. Just one difference, that here we will call the remove at method and pass the index in it. Okay, so now coming back to the post detail view model. In here we will calling the update method, and we need to notify it through the saved state handle. So in this saved state handle, we will set the value refresh listing and pass the true in it. Okay, and we also have the access to saved state handle in the list view model. So a post listing view model, here we will inject the saved state handle, and in the init block we will listen this value. Correct value. If value is true, then we will refresh the listing. So here is a code which load the data from the repository. So we will move this into the separate method. Press Ctrl Alt M. Fetch posts, and we will call this method if this value is true. So fetch posts. We are getting this error here because this collect is a suspend function, so we can only call it from a coroutine scope or any other suspend function. So we will use ViewModel scope dot launch and move this in here. Okay, so now let's run the app and verify this. Is this working as expected? Okay, so our app is up and running. So tap on this login button, and here is the post listing screen. So tap on first item and update, and we are not seeing that updated information in the listing screen. So how we can confirm that is this code of log is triggering or not? So we will add a log here. Press log D and tab. This will be log D and tab, and make this lowercase. Init refresh listing value. So we will print this in logs and also define this tag. Okay, and now let's run the app and verify that what we are observing in the logs. Okay, so our app is up and running, and we will tap on this login button and landed on this post listing screen. In here we have seen this log first time, that we have the false value in it initially. Okay, because it's a state flow, so we have the initial value false, and if we tap on this one and update, then we are not seeing anything in the logs, which means we need to do something. So this is because that each screen has a backstack entry in the navigation graph, and the nav host, the save state handle is the attached with that backstack entry. So this post listing screen is a different screen, and this post detail view model post detail screen is a different screen. So these both screens have different backstack entries and have separate nav save state handle for each of these screens. So we need to update the information in the backstack entry save state handle. So how we can do it? We can do it through this the post detail screen. Here we are calling this for navigate up method in here. So here we can access this nav controller, previous backstack entry, saved state handle, and set the information, refresh, listing, and pass value in it. And to derive the value at this point, we go to the post detail view model, and in here when we are sending the navigate back event, we also need to provide the information. So here we set a variable refresh listing, which would be a boolean and false by default. And in this navigate back event, we make this data class, and in the params we can pass multiple type of parameters. So we will use bundle here. Okay, and in here we will create the bundle of refresh listing and pass the refresh listing value on it and pass the values. Okay, so where I will make this mandatory, so this will help us to understand that from where we need to call, from wherever, so where we are calling it. So we are calling this from update post. So here we not want to refresh the listing, and also for the delete post we also want to refresh the listing. So go to the post details screen, and in here we make these changes to is and pass the event.params in it, event.bundle. I will rename it as shift F6 two times and rename it to params. Okay, and in here we also tell that we want to pass the bundle, and in the home screens here we have the params from in the through bundle. So we will get the value from bundle like this, params dot get boolean refresh listing, and default value would be false if we do not get anything. And in the post detail screen we also need to listen that information. So for that purpose we will pass the backstack entry in here, and we use launch effect side effect function and backstack entry save state handle state flow dot collect, and if value is true, then we want to refresh our listing. So ViewModel dot fetch posts. This is a private function, so we also need to make it public. So press Alt Enter and make it a public function if value is true. Okay, so now at this point I will also add a log here to know that actually do not need to add the log because this will be obvious that this will work. So in the post listing view model I will comment this piece of code. So run the app. We are getting some error here, and the error is that we all need to provide the backstack entry parameter here. So backstack entry, and in the post detail we also see some error. Okay, and pass the false in it. We do not want to do refreshing when user tap on the back button. So let's run the app. Okay, so our app is up and running. So tap on login, and first post item, tap on update, but still the information is not reflecting on the UI. But if I tap on this again, but the information is updated, but we are not observing it on the listing screen. So why this is happening? This is because that whenever we will call this fetch post method, then we get the list from the repository and add it in the in-memory list. So if we call this method 2 times, so let's say we have 20 items in the getting from the repository, then the first 20 will be shown on the UI, and on the second call, the second 20 will the next 20 will be appended in the list. So that's why we are not seeing the dated information here. So what we will do is we will introduce a variable should load first page and make it false by default, and if this is true, then we will clear the existing list from the memory, and when we first land on the screen, we will pass row in it, and in the post listing screen where we are calling this method, we will also pass that row in it, because we want to show the updated information on the first page. We don't want to append the first page again and again. So let's run the app and verify this change again. Okay, so our app is up and running, and now we will tap on this login button and tap on the first post item, tap on update. Then the updated information is shown on the UI. Coming back in here, we are also seeing the updated information here. Tap on the second item and update. So we have achieved this, and now we will move forward with this delete button. So for that purpose, we go to our post detail view model, and in here we will delete the item. So repository post delete item. Okay, and I will remove this one, and here we will also passing this refreshing value refresh listing check true here. So if we run the app again, now the deletion will also work, that on deletion the list will be updated. Okay, so our app is up and running, and now tap on login and click on first post item and delete this. Then this has been successfully deleted. This item, delete this. This have been successfully deleted. So we have achieved the functionality with the first approach, that we will pass the data to the previous screen through SavedStateHandle. So there are certain drawbacks of this one, that we are doing tight coupling of our navigation with the UI side, that we are passing the navigation component to the UI side. So this is the first drawback, and the second drawback is that we are introducing string keys, so which are error prone. So yes, someone can say that we can create a separate constant data class and object class and define all the string keys there, but let's say if we want to send 4 or 5 actions to the previous screen, then we will create 5 distinct keys for that purpose. And let's say we have 10 screens, and from 5 screens we have 3 or 4 actions we want to send to the previous screen, then the number of keys will be increased with the passage of time. But although this is a approach which can be applicable on the small apps, that where we are sure that there will always be 3 or 4 screens in the app, and this number won't be grow with the passage of time. Okay, so now we will proceed with the approach 2, and the approach 2 would be that we will pass the data to the previous screens using SharedRepository. So here is the concept, that we will create a repository interface, and in that we will create a post updates shared flow, which will be contains type unit, and create a method post notify post updated. Okay, and write an implementation class for this one, shared repository shared repository, and press Alt Enter, implement these members, and in here we will create an immutable post updates, immutable shared flow, and unit 1 unit, and we will use this here. And in the notify updated method, first I will make this a suspend function, and in that we will set post update dot emit unit in it. So whenever any change happen, then we will call this method. So in the post detail view model, we will get the instance of share repository shared repository. But at this point we need one instance which would be accessible for both screen, the post detail and the post listing screen as well. So for that purpose we will create a singleton using companion wow instance shared repository by lazy initialization shared repository. I'm using this for the purpose that the purpose of this video is to learn how to pass data from one screen to the previous screen. So that's why I'm not going to the dagger hilt approach, just using this lazy initialization to get the same instance for both screens. Okay, so we will get through instance through this method. So share repository dot instance, and we also do the same thing for the post repository. Previously we are not observing the issue. This is because we have one in-memory list which we are updating or deleting item from it. That's why we are seeing the updated information on the previous screen, because both instances of the repositories are accessing the same list from the memory. But right now, as we have found it, so we will create the singleton instance of singleton design pattern for the implement singleton design pattern for this one. So companion object instance post repository, and we will get the instance, and in the post detail view model we will also update this one. So now we have the shared repository here, and what we will do is we will do shared repository dot notify updated. So this is a suspend function, so we need to call it from the coroutine scope. So ViewModel scope dot launch, and move it in here, and same thing we will do for this delete post method. And on our post listing screen, first we will comment out this word of block, because we don't want to utilize the SavedStateHandle information, NavBackStackEntry SavedStateHandle information. So we will go to the post listing view model. Here we will get the instance of shared repository, shared repository dot instance, and we also use the same approach for this post repository dot instance. And now in the init block we will use ViewModel scope dot launch share repository dot post update, actually I will use this approach. Okay, and collect value, and if that value is true, Then we will fetch the posts and pass the true. That should load first page. So actually we do not check it near this value because it's a unit. Whenever this is triggered, any value comes from this post updates, then we will trigger this fetch posts method. So let's run the app and verify that this is working as expected. Okay, so our app is up and running. So tap on login and tap on first item, update, and the update is being reflected here, and tap on the second item, update have been reflected, tapping on second item and delete this one, and the deletion is also working. So this shared repository approach is a recommended one for the medium or large apps. So with this we have come to the end of this video. I hope you find it valuable. If you have any query, do let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye.